Hi, Carol.
Hey,
How are you?
I am good. Are you seeing me clearly?
Yes, yes, I see you clear. I hear a little echo. Did you lower the volume?
Yes, on my tablet for Instagram, there is no volume here. I turned it
Okay,
down, all the way down. Let me
okay,
see if I can mute it. No,
okay.
can't. It's down.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna just try to ignore the little echo. So anyway, so thank you so much. I see 9 people now. Okay, wow. Let me see who. Okay. So yeah, Carol, so thank you so much for joining. I'll just give a little brief introduction about how I met Carol. So I met Carol on LinkedIn, for a while now. It was like back in, like, when did you start LinkedIn? It was like last year too, right?
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, what month last year? Like September, October?
No, about November there, because it's right before the holidays. I remember clearly. It was right before
Oh,
Christmas
okay,
and all
okay.
of that.
Yeah, yeah. It was so cool. Like I literally just started September, October, then I started
Mhm.
meeting you November, and then like, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's how we met. And then we kind of just became friends through, and then we like interacting so much. And then, like,
Hmm.
Carol's one of the most supportive person on LinkedIn. So if you want to be nice to someone, be nice to Carol because she's very, very supportive. Okay. So Carol, instead of me introducing you, what you do, why don't you introduce yourself, like what you do and everything? I know you're a mindset confidence coach, but can you talk more about that?
Awesome. Hey everyone. So I am Carol, aka Coach C. I am a life purpose coach. This is where I help women feel empowered, get the confidence to believe in themselves while they're in a toxic relationship. So that's my main focus. Women that are in a toxic relationship, I help them identify their worth, their level of regaining their self confidence and belief in themselves, that they can have that mindset to leave and to identify that a toxic relationship is unhealthy.
Got it. So what is a clear definition or like a signs of a toxic relationship?
There are many signs. There are many signs. And
Mm-hmm.
toxic relationship varies from spousal to friendships to families.
Oh.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's just think about anything that sucks you dry, that drains you, that causes you to second guess yourself, to feel
Mm-hmm.
less than, to
Mm-hmm.
constantly put you in a demeaning mindset. So that's
Got it.
toxic. Once it's taking from you than giving, it's
Mm-hmm.
toxic.
Got it. Got it. So why did you focus on toxic relationships? So I know I read a lot of your posts. So but then why did you let people know why? Why this particular focus? Like why did you niche in this area?
Because it's my life, it's my experience, it was my life, it's what I really went through. um this one was spousal for me. It was being married to someone and having a toxic relationship for the most part. And
Mm-hmm.
after overcoming and coming out of that, not easy, but I came out, I felt like I needed to pay it forward and to just deposit in other women's lives. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this. I don't just do women. I cater to professional and executive women. Why? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's me. Because
Mm-hmm.
people believe that because you're probably not independent why you stay in a toxic relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's
Yep.
not necessarily the case. We have professional women, real executives in the corporate industry, and they are in this situation. And one may say, wow, then why?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yep.
really hard. And because
Mm-hmm.
I've been there, I can say no, it's not as easy as one may think.
Yep, yep, exactly. So that's interesting because you said toxic relationship with friends as well. So it's like,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, because like, I think it's so easy. I think like part of my struggle was that, sometimes like, before I think my struggle was that when I didn't have any friends, like I really was like, there was this one well, ex-girlfriend that I used to hang out with. Like she was always like putting me down and like literally like kind of like like nitpicking every single thing, how you eat and stuff like that. So now that I think back on it, it was like it was
Hmm.
literally like, yeah, I think that was a toxic relationship because then you don't want to be with friends who's just like always putting you down. I mean, like who cares about like how you eat? She was literally nitpicking everything, like how you talk and everything. So that can be a, toxic relationship. So I'm glad like as I grow, like I think that's important for you to show earn that self confidence to grow. So when someone reach out to you, like what do you think is their main issue? Like why are they having a hard time leaving a toxic relationship? Like what are mainly all the problems that they're having?
To be honest, it's more along the line of fear,
Fear. Yep. Yep. Mhm.
fear, fear,
Mhm.
and the uncertainty of the unknown. Because most of these people, it's not a 2 month, 3 month, 6 month, a year type of relationship, especially when it comes to spousal. It's
Mhm.
usually years invested,
Mhm.
and it's hard to walk away from years invested. And you're
Yeah.
talking about time, sometimes children, sometimes assets, right?
Yeah.
It's not as
Yeah.
easy to walk away from. And as a result, persons, play this over in their minds as, okay, if I leave, what will happen? There's so many, ripple effects. There's so much stuff you have to think about. And
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest challenge is just leaving.
Got
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah. And then, but that's for relationship, I can see how hard that will be. But I guess like with friendship, like usually do you see any like clients like who are having a hard time cutting off a friendship because it's toxic?
To be honest, I haven't had a lot with French. I had with family
Mhm.
members,
Mm,
like
yes.
immediate family members, probably a mother or a father that constantly
Yeah.
speaks ill. They're
Yeah.
negative. They're verbally abused. I
Yeah.
mean, you have parents that every time someone probably tries to step out, launch, do a business, the first
Yeah.
person is a mother or a father. And I mean, we hold these people in high regard, right? It's
Yep. Yep.
mommy, it's daddy.
Exactly. Yeah.
What they
Yeah.
say matters, right?
Yeah.
So I tend to have that, not so much
Mhm.
friends, to be honest. I have family members and spousal.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's your family. How can you walk away from your family? How can you not talk to your mother or your father or somebody that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
deem important to you? So
Yeah.
it is hard. It is
Mhm.
hard. Mhm.
So how can you walk away? Like, what kind of like how do you help them? Like okay, let's say it's a mom and dad. Like you can't really run away from your family forever. So I guess like you can maybe like okay, mom, maybe I'll move to another state, another country, and like okay, we just talk maybe once a month and that's it, and we don't talk about anything else, like condescending, whatever. If you do, I'm gonna hang up on you. Like,
No,
like what do
it's
you
true. It's true though, Christine. Because think about boundaries. It's boundaries. Probably you really have
yeah,
to
yeah,
do that. It's
yeah.
it's
You have
creating
to
a
be
healthy
very clear. Yeah.
relationship. Yeah, you have to be clear. Like, okay,
Yeah.
this is what's happening. It seems as though every time I come around, we tend to blow up. We tend
Yeah.
to not. We're not
Yeah.
seeing eye to eye. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm going to
Yeah.
love you from a distance. I
Yeah.
mean, birthdays I'll call. I'll do what
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do, but there will be
Mhm.
boundaries
Yeah.
because it's
Yep.
evident that we can't get along. It's evident that we are on different wavelengths. It's evident that my dreams are not your dreams, right? So
Yep.
that's
Yep.
fine. I mean, we're family members. We don't choose our family, right? So
Yep.
we just
Yep.
have to set
Exactly.
boundaries in cases like that.
Exactly. So, because I think between me and my sister, we don't talk as much as well because like I always feel like my sister is like every time she talks to me, it's always about like money, getting money from me, guilt tripping me. Like okay, it's like because they live in the Philippines, so my history is that I mean my family in the Philippines are not rich. Sometimes like they're considered poor by some people. So I
Mm-hmm.
do send money to my family, but sometimes like there's always this mentality is never enough. It's never enough. You're not sending enough. So they always try to guilt trip you instead of being appreciative of what you send. They still guilt trip you. So every time like
Yeah.
our conversation is always around that, and then like it doesn't make me feel good. I'm like, what about you? Like asking me, how are you doing? How's your day?
Yeah.
Like it's
Mm-hmm.
all about that. I'm like, okay, then I have to cut it off. I was like, okay, you're gonna message me again, then message me about everything else but money. Otherwise, I'm not gonna respond to that.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
true. And
Yeah.
think about it.
Mhm.
It's true because I mean, we are both immigrants. We are both living in a country that's not our home, right? So I
Mhm.
know what
Mhm.
it's like. But I personally don't have family members back home anymore. I just have my son there.
Mhm. Oh,
He's with
where is
his father.
oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes. So
Oh.
I know I've heard of stories, persons overseas, and you have
Mhm.
family members or friends just constantly taking and
Yep.
constantly
Exactly.
wants,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So I know that can be draining,
Yeah.
especially we know it's not as easy to earn.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
access is there, but it's
Yeah.
not so easy to earn. And you
Yep.
feel pressured, you feel, sometimes they're calling, you really don't want to answer. I've heard about the
Mhm.
situations.
Yep.
Luckily, I'm not in that situation. So,
Yep. Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, I'm gonna look at the comments because I see a lot of comments now. So sorry, guys. It's hard to like multitask when you're okay. So okay. Melissa said hi. Alexander, yeah, hi everyone. And then like Rocky, I love Rocky. He always shows up on my live stream. So he said I was a
Oh.
trustee and I'm still a caregiver, and the trustee relationship became toxic with the people the trust protects. So
Mm.
I had to report the family's abuse as trustee. Yep, you did the
Wow.
right
Yep.
thing. I
Boundaries.
wasn't I wasn't afraid reporting to the FBI, but they are related to Irvine City Council and Nixon Presidential Library. Wow. Okay. So okay, Francis is there. Oh, hi, Francis.
Hey, Francis.
Well, what time is it there, Francis? I know he kept awake just so he can join you. I don't know what time zone he's at right now, midnight, whatever. He probably like, hello, Carol. So I appreciate you being on, Francis. Okay, Nakita said I prefer here than Instagram. Thank you, Nakita, for joining. Oh, hi, sis. Okay, I guess she's your sis.
Yeah, yeah, that's my sister Nikita.
Okay, Rocky, I'm afraid of scary people. Okay, hi, you then see Sandra. Okay, okay, Rocky said, can the money you sent be utilized better? What do you mean, Rocky? Can you expand more?
I guess he
Uh,
means like conversion if it's more there.
Thank you, thank you. So sorry, because I think that the comment and the actual streaming has a lag. It's like a 30-second lag in between. So
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah. So the money you said, yeah, Rocky. Like in the Philippines right now, I think last time I checked, $1 was 50 pesos. So I literally can just spend my money $200, and that can go very far, right? But then they always feel it's never enough. so so it's like so, but then I know my mom. I've asked her for all. I'm big on budgeting, so I always ask her, so mom, where do you spend the money on, whatever. So I always and then like I was just thinking, I said that's enough money I'm sending you. So I don't know where. So I'm not gonna be guilt tripped into like it's like it's never enough because they always say it's never enough, and my mom is always like hiding how much she has, like literally, like
Mhm.
she doesn't want me to see her bank account, whatever. So it's just funny. And then I know my aunt told me, it's like, your mom has enough money, so don't worry about your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I've had experience like that too, Christine. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. So this is one of the bug. Like it just says LinkedIn user sometimes.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah. So I have to look later on who that is. Okay. So Francis, great work you do, Carol. Thank you for empowering many women. Yes.
Thank you, Francis.
I, Francis, you can come to my live sometime. Okay. Tom said hi. Oh, hi, Tom. Yeah, he always come online. Okay. Francis. Okay. Anita said, hello, just trying to stay awake. It's 11:15 p.m. over here. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Where are you, Anita? I, I'm laughing like the last name. You have a very interesting last name. I don't know if that's your
What's
last
the
name.
name? Oh,
Is it
Anita, thank God.
okay? Well, I sorry, I'm not trying to make fun, but I think that's a very interesting last name. That's your last name. Okay, so tell me more about yeah. So one of them, like when they leave is fear, right? And then like I know
Mhm.
financial security is a huge part of that, right? Because like money is very important, no matter what. Is like I mean, people don't leave because of money. People, when they fight over divorce, it's about money. Who's gonna get more? Who's gonna get less? So
Mhm.
it's always our money. So tell me, like, okay, like if you go by percentage, usually, what are the reasons money is involved when trying to leave a relationship? That's the reason not to leave. What is the percentage usually?
Percentage. Mm. Well, remember, for my clients, they're independent women, right? They're working. So money
Mm-hmm.
is not majority of the reason. It's just
Mm-hmm.
let's say it would be 60% because maybe things are tied together. And this is what you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about: assets,
Um.
bank accounts, joint stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking, okay, I leave. How will we do this?
Mm-hmm.
Are we
Yep.
going to
Yep.
split? How are we going to split? How do I have to sell the house? So these are
Mm-hmm.
the concerns.
Mm-hmm.
So that I believe would be about 60%.
So okay, so this women, okay, so you said your clients are executive women, but what about women that doesn't work? Because like so that's like that has more reason for them to stay in a relationship because
Mm-hmm.
they don't
Mm-hmm.
work. They don't know if they might not have worked for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
don't have
And
family.
I have those clients as well, but my niche is for professional executive women. However, these women, that's the 100% reason. They're
Um,
stay-at-home moms.
yeah,
They have like what, probably zero to no work experience because they've been
yeah,
moms all their lives. So it's like, okay, I leave. Where am I going to go?
yeah,
He
yeah,
is the sole provider, right? What would I do?
yeah.
And in
Yep,
situations like that, someone cannot just haphazardly just leave. Then you'd have to
yep,
put a plan of action in place. So maybe
yep,
this is where now you probably have to go take your time and find a
yeah,
part-time job, probably start doing
yeah,
something online, trying to
yeah,
build yourself, trying to put yourself in a position that,
yep,
okay, your mindset, I'm going to leave, I cannot do this. However, you have to exercise wisdom in preparing yourself that when
mm,
you leave, you are
mhm,
able to sustain yourself.
yep, yep. So you said you're professional women. Okay, so all your clients like that you niche already have a job and then they're
Yes,
pretty
the
financial.
majority of them, they're working.
Okay,
They're working. Yeah.
okay, so they're financially independent, right? But then are they still sometimes afraid to leave their relationship even though they're making their own money?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why
Because
is that?
I mean,
Okay.
sometimes they're making their own money, yes, but sometimes in some cases the partner is making more, and the
Mhm.
partner contributes more, and the partner,
Yeah,
they have a
yeah,
more higher weight in the relationship financially. So
yep,
probably
yep.
some of them they don't want to the lifestyle,
Mhm, mhm.
the
But
lifestyle, right? Because if
yeah,
it is that let's say, for example, materially, you're driving a nice car now
mhm,
because your husband or your boyfriend is a doctor, let's just
mhm,
say, right?
yep,
And you're probably a secretary,
mhm, yep,
right? But you're driving a nice vehicle, you live in a nice home. Now,
mhm,
walking away, that will have to change
yep,
because your secretary income cannot
yeah,
maintain that car anymore.
yep,
You won't be able to pay a rent for that nice home or apartment
mhm,
that you once had.
yep,
And these things are genuine concerns for women, especially
yep.
because I mean, we love the pampering, we love the nice, we love the glitz,
I
we
love
love the
I love
glam.
I miss the massages now. I'm like, oh, I wish like I
Yeah.
can't wait for coronavirus to be out and I can go and I just
Right,
don't know.
my nails. I haven't done my nails in so long. My hair, I'm wearing my natural hair. Like I'm
I
over
know. Yeah,
it.
'cause, like massage is like it's like yeah, because like in the nails they have to like really touch you and everything, and then massage
Yeah.
is touching. So I don't know what stage that will be like. It seems like it's gonna be far, far, far stage before that happens. So okay, so Anita said I'm in Nigeria. I get that a lot with my last name. Oh, okay, so that's a very that's a very unique last name, Anita. We should connect. If we're not connected yet. Okay, so oh, Rocky asked, do women have more experience that can be put on their resume? What do you think?
Do women repeat that question?
Have more experience that can be put on the resume?
Experience in terms of what? In terms of what?
Yeah, Rocky, can you expand further? I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe what he meant is I guess like what when they I guess Rocky Carol's niche is working professionals, right? So they already have work, so I think they already have enough in the resume, but that's not really the main issue why they're not living. So I think they have, can you say that's true that they already have enough experience on their resume for the clients that are working with you?
Yeah, they do have experience. They do have experience. Some are just that's the job they've been in all their lives. So would be experience on the one job. Yes.
Okay. So hopefully that answered your question, Rocky, or just expand more. Okay. How many how much backlash happens to your clients, Carol? That's the fear factor I see.
Okay, let me give you a scenario. So, especially in this pandemic, now you have your partners, my clients, they are home, some with their abusers.
Yeah.
So think about
Oh yeah.
yes, yes. So I
Yeah.
remember just last week I had a consultation, a free clarity consultation scheduled, and last minute she just canceled. However, I reached out to her on LinkedIn and asked, would you like to reschedule? And I kind of sensed that something was off because she was the one who actually reached out and she was looking forward and she just wanted to. So I found it off that she canceled.
Mhm.
Anywho, I didn't get to her that same evening. She didn't respond.
Mhm.
And probably 2 days after, she
Yep.
said she had to cancel because her partner came in earlier than she thought.
Oh.
So,
The
so
place
you
that her partner will hear what she's talking about.
right, right.
Yeah.
So we couldn't have that conversation because then her abuser would be there, right?
Yep. Yep.
So you have situations like that. That's the backlash. You
Yeah.
have persons that they do leave,
Mhm.
or they're with now a family member and it's kind of struggling to fit in again, living with other persons other than, you're not in your own space again.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you question if you made the right decision. You're second
Mhm.
guessing yourself when you look at the way your options. You're like, oh,
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm not being happy here, but at least I have my own space. So they
Mhm.
try to create excuses and make, excuses for going back
Mhm.
and feeling comfortable as it
Mhm.
relates to material stuff, not necessarily
Mhm.
emotionally.
Mhm. Got it. Got it. Wow. Yeah, that just I feel bad. Yeah, because coronavirus, then yeah, they're stuck at home more. So you either
Mm-hmm.
have more domestic violence. Yeah, I just wonder. Yeah, that's like that's I would
Mm-hmm.
think that but then I don't know if the domestic violence centers are they open during this time or like because it's coronavirus.
I don't know if they're opened. I remember speaking to someone and she has a therapist, like she has a trained therapist, right? But she says the therapist, I think she wasn't working for some time because her office space was
Mhm.
not available because I think she rents on a building or something and then the building was closed due to corona. So as a result, she wasn't going in and I don't think she did virtual stuff. I think they were working on it. I am
Mhm.
not sure as to the extent of that.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Nakita says, I'm in Jamaica. Hi. So cool. I haven't even been there. So it's like I'm like craving that travel bag. The Facebook like always remind you of your memories. You like 1 year,
Yeah.
2 years ago. Today I saw a memory I posted on Instagram. Like we were on the beach, the two dogs, and I'm like, oh, I miss going to the beach. And then like we're thinking of going to Thailand, and then coronavirus hit. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Oh, Anita said we're already connected. Okay, yay! And then I don't know who said wow. Okay, so
Yeah, I'm seeing
Francis,
LinkedIn user.
yeah, Francis said, Carol, what do you have to say about ladies who are being held captive in homes by partners who don't want them to pursue their own personal dreams, like going back to study or even looking for their dream jobs? I was working with a client recently who told me that the husband doesn't want her to work even when she really wants to. She has a
Mhm.
master's degree. The husband wants her to stay at home and just cook. What
Okay,
do you think that?
Christine, remember we just said that. That's toxic because it's
Yeah,
taking from you rather than giving.
exactly.
That's toxic. So, right there and then, we've identified a toxic relationship,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And what do you say to a woman like that? No, this is where no, you need to identify your worth. You're
Yep.
qualified. You're qualified. You have a master's degree. How is it that you allow someone else to determine what you do and not do,
Yep.
especially if it's a dream? Now,
Yep.
if someone that loves you and quote unquote cares about you, then they are supposed to not all the time aligned, but they can
Mhm.
support,
Yep. Yep.
right?
Exactly.
So right there and then, there's something that you want that the
Mhm.
person that you hold as partner or somebody who you decide to build a life with and to live with, they don't
Mhm.
support your vision. They don't
Mhm.
necessarily have to agree with your vision.
Mhm.
They should support your vision.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
it's not. I mean, wanting to work, like seriously, then why did you do a master's? Why do you have a master's?
I
Like,
know.
how did you acquire the master's in the first place? What was the
Yep.
reason? Just to have a
Yeah.
master's behind your name? If you're
Yeah.
not going to use it, what's the purpose? So I say
Yeah.
to women like that, this is where I come in and I help you identify that, hey, listen, you're
Mhm.
worth more than this.
Yep. Yep.
And this is
Yep.
not quote unquote telling people to just up and leave their marriages and leave their relationships. No, it's just exercising wisdom and
Mhm.
knowing what you are capable of and how it is that you're feeling like you're tied.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's abuse. You're held captive. You're
Yeah.
not at your own free will. You're manipulated. You're
Yeah.
controlled.
Yep.
It's
No.
no different than someone will tell you what to wear, what to eat, who to speak to, what time to go out, what time to come in. It's the same thing. They
Yeah.
all fall under the same umbrella, right?
Exactly. No, I love that. I love that because then I just have a client that could really connect with this because she was telling me, well, she's already on her third marriage. She said like one of the first marriage was that, she said that the husband wasn't supportive of what she wants to do. She hate her career. She wants
Mm-hmm.
something entrepreneurial, but the husband didn't want her to do that, so she wasn't happy. So I think like a husband forcing you to stay somewhere, I think that's also kind of toxic because then they're not letting you fly free. You don't have that freedom like to actually
Mm-hmm.
want. So that's a very good point. I love that. Yeah, Francis, great
Good
question.
job. Great question, Francis.
Hey, he should be on my life. Okay. Rocky said, I have been connecting orphanage owners in Kampala with social services and nonprofit resources, and that's worth more than $20 donations from me to help the orphanage get food. Wow. You know, Rocky,
Wow.
if you're not connected with Rocky, he has such an interesting experience. Every time I go on live, he's like always has some nice stories to share. So you need to connect with Rocky. He got so much like interesting stories. Okay. So oh, Nikita said my heart cries for relationships like that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very hard. Yeah, that's why I'm like I think part of me wanting to be so independent is because that I really I'm so scared of like being dependent on someone. 'Cause I feel like I
Mm-hmm.
think why I have such motivation with money is that it's like it makes me so independent as well. Then it's like I don't need a partner like I don't want to be dependent on a partner for that. So that's why I hold on strongly to have my own money, even though I'm
Mm-hmm.
I am married. Like I get questions from people like, if you're married, do you do a joint? Do you do a separate? So I think like if they ask me, then I would just ask them, like what are you comfortable with? So you can have a joint and you can have your own as well. Then you can do whatever you want with that money, then the play money, whatever. Then you don't have to worry about what your husband does. But at least like you don't have your own money, make your own money, so at least you're independent somehow.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
believe in that.
let me look at the okay, so what's that? Oh, Francis said, I'll try and put her in touch with you. She will find.
Send
Oh,
her, send her my way, Francis.
who is Francis talking about? Okay, a friend is.
The person that he was referring to.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I've lost track already. Okay, so Alexander said, please. Oh, there's a sound in the background. Oh, thank you,
Oh,
Alex.
hold on.
Yeah, so just lower that volume. Thank you, Alexander.
I guess it's the Instagram one because we're on Instagram as well. So I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
when my speaker is down on Instagram though, they're not hearing because my speaker is low, I
Oh,
think.
no,
Yeah.
that's fine. Just lower the speaker, so at least the
Okay.
speaker doesn't show up. Yeah, thanks, Alexander, for that.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Alex.
we're trying to be everywhere, so it's like Instagram.
Right.
Instagram doesn't. You have to have a separate mobile phone to actually stream on Instagram. It doesn't do it with StreamYard, so it kind
Oh,
of.
okay. Because I'm using my tablet on Instagram.
Yeah.
Persons were saying they weren't seeing me. So I guess it's kind of different there as well.
Yep. Rocky said, "Love all." Okay, so we shall be in touch. Okay, agree. Okay, so tell me again. You started doing this pretty much when you got on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. LinkedIn, right? Like, when did you
Yeah.
initially start offering this? Like, what inspired you? Like, I know you came. Was it did you came on LinkedIn because you wanted to start this, or you didn't really have an idea? You came on LinkedIn just to see what's going on, and you slowly got inspired to do the entrepreneurship. Like,
Christine, remember we had a mastermind. Remember that
yes,
Zoom
yes.
call that
Oh,
we all
oh,
had?
oh, that was that night you started like,
Yes, remember that Zoom call that we
oh,
all
yes,
had with
yes,
Tammy
yes,
and everybody, and
yes,
we had
yes.
that. It was so refreshing. We were just talking about our passions and our purpose and stuff.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I remember Tammy's like, Carol, you are inspirational. You are so motivational, and
Wow.
it's pretty much naturally I'm a positive
Yeah, yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
hard to get me off. Like
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
naturally a positive person, and I literally prayed about it, and I was like, why not use my story,
Mm-hmm.
my message, because I've gotten questions as well, just from
Mm-hmm.
people overall, just like, how did you get here, how you got over this so far, you relocated to a new country,
Uh,
I never thought that your marriage would have failed, like, how persons were just constantly asking how.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
Yep.
I felt the need that, okay, when I started listening to conversations and women just sharing with me, like, their personal stories and whatever, I was like, okay, I guess persons really are in a place where I was kind of hesitant in the beginning because sometimes I believe I am not a psychologist nor am I a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to make that clear distinction that I am neither of those. I am a coach.
Yep. Yep.
So I
Exactly.
am there for mostly accountability, support, strategies, tools that pretty much helped me and
Mm-hmm.
helped others.
Mm-hmm.
That to pretty much train you and coach you into walking confidently in or be confident about yourself. Pretty much identifying your worth, seeing the value you have. Because sometimes it's different when somebody tells you, like they're constantly saying, you are more than this. Why are
Mm-hmm.
you doing this? You're hearing it from somebody else. You tend to think and you're like, yeah, Carol said, why am I allowing this to happen? And you repeat it to yourself and you're there, you're more assured.
Mm-hmm.
No, as a coach, that's what I'm there for. I'm there assuring you. Think,
Mm-hmm.
have you do your list. What are the benefits with this person? What are the benefits without the person? How do you
Got it.
feel with this person? How do you think you'll feel without the person? And
Mm-hmm.
I always say your happiness is important.
Yes.
Not
Exactly.
money, not house, not car, not the material gains, your happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Because it makes no sense you have all the luxury
Mm-hmm.
and you're dying inside, you're barely able to enjoy it because you're
Yeah.
you're fearful
Yeah.
of the person you live with that is supposed to love and protect you.
Yeah, because happiness and like okay, so I know like every time I talk about having more money will bring you happiness. People always like say something. Oh, money's not gonna bring you happiness. So these are two separate different things. So there are people who whatever however much money you have, you can enjoy it because you're not happy inside. So that's a totally separate issue. That's you need to work on that. Like what why are you not happy? Like there must be some sort of deep rooted issue
Mm-hmm,
right there.
mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about like if you're already mentally healthy, like you're already at the right place, then money can bring you a lot of the stuff that actually can bring you happiness, which is like you go traveling and whatever. So it's like it's very hard for you to have any sort of happiness if you don't have any money, like you don't have
Yeah,
any money for shelter, for survival. But then those two things I think are totally separate. I think like a lot of
yeah,
people just confuse the two. So I agree with that. You need to be happy in the first place to be able to
yeah.
enjoy everything else
Joy.
that yes. Okay, so let me read. Oh, Rocky said, how much more can collective support and outreach reduce systematically abusive relationships?
For me, I really believe that persons need a safe place. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
just the truth. It's a safe place, right?
Yep.
Because you're thinking, I'm going to use my example, my personal
Mm-hmm.
experience, right? I didn't tell my mother at the
Mm-hmm.
time when she was alive. My friends knew bits and pieces. They didn't know detail. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a place of comfortability
Mm-hmm.
and just feeling assured that when I say this,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't want to, feel like it will be used against me or I'll be judged because of it or
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So I believe if there is a community, I know there are communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, there are different ones and whatever. I think it's just for the client or the individual to feel safe. They need
Mm-hmm.
that safe place. I believe it helps drastically in terms of even especially as you mentioned, persons that cannot afford a coach or a therapist or a psychologist.
Yeah.
We need communities and outreach programs like these that they can go to. Yes, they're there, but the more of them, the better. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe
Yep.
that persons think that they're not there, they're there,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
but it's the safety. Because you think about it, I'm going there, I probably meet other women who are domestically being abused, and yes, you think that we have the same insights and we're going through the same thing, but then again,
Mm-hmm.
what will happen when I see these women outside of the safe place?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
It's a sense of security and
Yeah.
feeling, safe.
Yeah.
Safe. I think just being safe.
Yeah, we need a community. I mean, no matter what, I think it's just a basic human need. Like I was talking to my coach, like connection is a very foundation. We all need that. So it's like
Yeah.
we don't have, we can get a connection through community, through, I don't know, social net media,
Yeah.
networking and stuff. So we need that. That's very important. Good question, Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh, Debbie's there. Hi,
Hey,
lady.
Debbie.
Debbie's coming on next week. I forgot, right? Yeah, she'll be on Zoom. Okay. So okay, Nakita said very positive. Okay. So socials coaching must report experiences, Rocky. Okay. Social coaching?
Social coaching. I guess he means in terms of, because think about a mindset coach,
Mhm.
right? A mindset coach. Now you get a client that's
Mhm.
off, mentally challenged. Like they are. No, I'm not.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, to be honest, they're
Yeah.
mentally challenged. They're going through stuff psychologically. No, I
Yep.
don't
Yep.
believe as a mindset coach it's your place.
Mhm.
So you realize that there is something bigger than what you can give.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
think you
Yep.
should be in a place with their permission, of course, or suggest and ask them if it is that they consider, therapists. Maybe they
Mhm.
can't afford a therapist. So now,
Mhm.
as a coach, I think it's your duty and your job to give them suggestions,
Yep.
steer them where they can get that additional help. So,
Yep.
as Rocky said, I do believe social coaching and that perspective, they
Mhm.
can provide support in guiding them to where they can get the help they need.
Exactly. Okay, so Francis, it's great to see how you're using your journey to solve your clients' problems because that makes things relatable. Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
yes, I've heard that before. Yes, yes.
Carol, do life coaches have any obligation to report to doctors and authorities? Okay, that's a very good question.
That's a good question. Obligations. I think with the permission of your client. I don't think it's an obligation because still, as I said, we have to decide for the two: coaches, therapists, psychologists. Right?
Mhm.
We are not trained to do that. The
Mhm.
therapeutic part and the psychology part. We are not scientists, right?
Mhm.
So I think it's our duty.
Mhm.
Obligated, not too sure. I think it's our duty to,
Mhm.
with the permission of your client, to suggest.
Mhm.
I don't think you're obligated or it's your place to go beyond your client's
Mhm.
belief or,
Yep.
or, 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 permission to go to a doctor or go to a psychologist or whatever. I don't think that's your place. I think it should be a duty though. After
Mhm.
coaching for more than, a few times and you realize that, okay, this is deeper than what I am trying to offer,
Yeah.
I think you may need more help.
Yeah, because I never had that issue. Well, I guess mine's financial coaching, so there's really no issue about that I have to
Yeah, but
report.
that's a great question. That's a great
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. But I think also like I think that might come into place where in like maybe if they're working with a therapist already or doctors, and then
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think like you have to have an understanding with a client to actually you can communicate with
Yes,
the
right. So you
therapist.
have to have their permission, right?
Exactly. Okay.
Right.
Francis said, "Thank you for hosting professionals like this. They are really the source of power to many out there living in a lot of difficulties." Yes.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Francis. Are you guys still hearing echo? So please let us know if you're still hearing echo. Okay. So, okay. So, what about women who stay because of religious and cultural beliefs? Oh, that's Natalie
Hmm.
Roan asked that. So I don't know why her name isn't showing up. Yeah.
LinkedIn user.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
her.
Women who stay. Okay. Okay. Before I answer that question, I'm going to share my experience again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So I I'm a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And when I decided, I was always married, I always had my husband.
Mm-hmm.
We were together before I became a Christian. And then I converted to walking in faith and to, practicing my
Mm-hmm.
Christian walk. No,
What?
that became a challenge,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
So my religious beliefs now were not in alignment with his, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He is a Christian by religion. However, he's not a practicing Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So practicing Christian and a Christian that's practicing, we are going to have challenges. The scale was way unbalanced and it was rough. It was hard. It was pretty much a struggle every single day you get up. It's a struggle. When I'm supposed to go to church, it was an argument. It was a struggle. When I'm supposed to do anything for church, it's a struggle and it's an argument. It was
Yep.
nasty.
Yep.
So in that case, I don't know person's religion or a different belief system, but as a Christian, my faith and my prayer life grew because of it. Because now I'm like, all right, I am choosing you, God, and this is my marriage. So we know that marriage is a holy union. So if it is that I am choosing to serve you and to honor you and to practice walking by faith in everything that I'm doing, why am I getting this fight? I am in a marriage. I'm doing what's right. I am not fornicating. I am not doing, so quote unquote, the sins that everybody tends to profess, right? But yet still I'm having a struggle.
Yeah.
It became so unhealthy for me that I felt guilty going to church, like I was doing something bad.
No, church is evil. Don't go.
like, I was doing something really bad. Like, so it is hard. I'm not going to even downplay like, oh, it's so easy to get over and God will help you through and all of that stuff. That's nice to say. That's the fluff. But the reality is, it is truly hard, and it goes back to confidence. It goes back to confidence, and it goes back to your belief. And if you believe that you are doing this and this is the right thing you're doing, you're exercising wisdom, and you're saying, okay, I am going after God, then God take care of the rest. That was my mindset, and that's just the truth.
Exactly. Great question. What's her? Okay, so
Natalie, because I'm seeing LinkedIn
yeah.
user here.
Okay, so Rocky said, "Oh, I have an open model." Okay, so it's just Brian
That's
is on. Oh, hi,
Hey
Brian.
Brian.
Brian's my new friend now. We started chatting, and then like he was like silently following me, and now he's like he follows me now. Okay, so okay, Alexandra is asking. So I am wondering if Carol has modules for her coaching program. What are the services you offer for your clients, Carol?
Awesome. So yes, as you know, Christine, and from time to time, I've been promoting on LinkedIn. I am currently working on a 6-module course. It's now completed. It's called Lessons for a Better You. It's pretty much just talking about confidence, how it is that you identify toxic relationships, how it is that you come out of these relationships, how it is that just tools. They're really tools and strategies, and really and truly, it's for everybody. But this is, to be honest, the person who probably cannot afford my coaching, then you can use this. And when you do that, when you use that as a guide, then you can also do it as a package to use my coaching as well with that for more clarity. So I offer confidence coaching. As I mentioned in my post today, persons think that you are born confident. It's not inherited, right? It's built over time with experience. So I do confidence coaching. I help with purpose mapping, just identifying your purpose. We're all born with a purpose. I just help you identify what that purpose is.
Yep. Exactly. Right? Okay, so Natalie said, "Thanks for your detailed response." That was the religion question. So you're welcome. Okay, so Rocky said, "I prayed at social services for not use 3 weeks of starvation in Uganda before taking action. I asked why Swab Musa if he could collaborate with the markets, and he prays for chance and opportunities." Okay. Okay, Rocky, you should come on I'd like to hear more information. Okay. So I know we're almost coming to the hour, so of course we're not gonna end this without you sharing your journey to money. What about your journey to better money management? I know you're saying that you made bad financial choices with credit cards. So I would love to hear about that. Like how was it? Like how did you grow around money?
All right. So let me just say, we don't see, remember, I'm from Jamaica. We don't see credit cards. We run off debit.
Or cash, right?
There are credit cards. It's not as easily accessible like, in the first world countries. Anybody can get a credit card. In Jamaica, you have to be earning a certain amount of money to be qualified to even get a credit card. Now, I remember one of my experiences owning a credit card. I traveled because I was a teacher back home, and I used to use my summers for travel. And I remember using my credit card and while I was traveling overseas and shopping. Shopping. I know I have to pay it back, but you're shopping. And remember the conversion. So I'm using US dollars. So when I go back home, that's high. I have to pay that, right? I really made some bad decisions in my purchases and just spending foolishly. I was younger then. And I remember I kept paying a credit card and I felt like it wasn't going down.
Like, why
Like
is it not going down?
I kept paying. I'm paying, and I'm like, it's like I'm not reaching anywhere. Like, and I got so upset. I remember even going to the bank trying to arrange a payment plan and trying to work out a way that I could finish paying this credit card. And I remember my husband at the time, we had to come up with a plan and got some money and we cleared it, and I handed in the credit card like, bye. No more credit cards for me. Like, I didn't own a credit card again until I came to Canada. And with that experience now, I am a better manager of it. Like my friends would say, you have to owe. Like I get stressed out when I know I have a balance on my card. Like I want to just clear it because of my experience, right? So it's more of a phobia now, like not to have a balance or use it if I have the money in my checking account.
Got it. So how do you manage that now, so you're always gonna pay your credit card? Like, for example, like, do you just charge, okay, maybe $50 only if you have the money in checking? Like, how do you manage your finances now, so you
All right.
always not gonna...
So now here using credit card, because it's a thing. I'm building my credit now. It matters for everything that I want to do.
Canada,
it matters.
US,
Canada, right? It's different, right?
Yeah, you always look at your credit score. Like,
so now this is a mindset. This is a mindset. This is a mindset. So now I pretty much, literally, I budget. I budget now, and I don't use what I don't have. So if I know I want something, I said to you the other day, Christine, that I love Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova is my site, and every month I would tend to buy something from Fashion Nova. Well, thanks to COVID, that's not a thing right now. But clothes, Fashion Nova, right? And if I know if I'm going to spend $20 with my credit card, I tend to just ensure I have $20 in my checking that I can put it back. And even what I tend to do, your card is due a particular date on every month. I put money on it every week, that by the time it gets to the month, I would have already paid a chunk. So I don't wait to pay that lump sum for the month. I constantly, put something on it until I clear up whatever I spent before that time.
Got it. So what, when you say you do budgeting, like, do you use a tracking system? Like, how do you do that?
I had an app on my phone. I deleted it because there was an app that I had, just basic stuff, just income, expenses, just your basic budgeting stuff. So I started using that. That's where I started. I started using that. And now, to be honest, I am not consistent. It's like, I don't have the physical thing to look at and go and do it. But in my mind, which I think I need to put it on paper, I think it makes a whole lot of difference when you're seeing it.
Exactly.
But I'm not consistent, but I do believe that budgeting helps and it works. As it really, I think just the bigger thing though, I think mainly, Christina, you are a financial coach, so like, don't spend what you don't have. I think that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing, especially knowing that you can ruin your credit. Your credit has a lot to do with everything. Like if you have a bad credit, like things, you're stuck.
Yeah. Yep.
So why ruin something that can help you further in life? You want to own a home. You want to, you want to do certain things with yourself, and there is no growth because you have a bad credit. Mistakes and choices that you yourself did.
Credit is so important, especially if you're gonna live in US, Canada. And I don't know, Asia is not so huge. Like, I know in Singapore, like, I have some Singapore friends, and they're like, they say they don't have a credit score. I don't think, like, they look at they literally look at, like, I think your income or something like that, like whatever, some formula. Actually, I'm going live with them in 2 hours, and then I'm gonna ask them, so what kind of credit do you use? So they don't have a credit score in Singapore. And then I think even in Philippines, like, when I left in 2000, we were still mostly cash based. So it's like, it's really US, and then like this country, like, it's so easy. They charge, and you just pay minimum, right? It's like, oh yeah, whatever, you just pay $20 minimum. It's okay. So
it's the same thing in Jamaica. I mean, we do have it. I think they're moving toward the credit score and having a good credit background and all of that. But it's not. I think they're getting there. But as I said, it's not predominantly the thing.
Yep.
It's cash based.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's see. Okay. Oh, William. Oh, William is here. Hi. William is also one of my biggest supporter. He always show up. So he asked. He said, just seeing that you are live again now. Thank you for joining, William. This topic is also very close to my heart. I just recently only finally cut some very toxic relationships that were decades old. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great job,
Important.
William.
Important. Yeah.
Oh, here, Nakita said, actually, no, I actually want to go back to the previous comment. One second. Someone said something. I think this is Natalie that said, Carol, I have listened to your podcast and found them very insightful. Will there be a season two?
Yes, I'm working on season 2 and working on my guests. Christina, I'll be calling you and chatting with you for that.
Oh, so how do you do that? How do you do the podcast? Do you do weekly release?
Okay, my season one was pretty much just getting my viewers and my audience just to know me a little. So I
Oh,
at that
okay,
time for
okay.
season 1 I released an episode every Tuesday.
Oh, okay,
So I have
okay,
7
okay,
episodes in season 1. It's on
okay,
all platforms that podcasts
okay, okay.
are heard
So,
or
so,
whatever.
oh,
Um
okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it's keeping it real. That's the name of the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Keeping
So
it real
how
with
oh, go ahead.
Coach C, and at that time I released every Tuesday.
Yeah, so it was a
No,
solo podcast.
yes,
Okay, got it,
yes,
got it. So
yes,
people can get
yes,
to know you. Okay, so is did you just launch it on Anchor so it can get
yes.
pushed out?
Anchor,
Oh, okay.
Anchor.
We need
Yeah.
to talk because I want to convert all my live stream to podcast like this one so
Yeah,
then I can launch. So I guess it's just as easy. Just put in an Anchor and then just launch it, right?
it is. It is. And I just recently learned about Squadcast. It's paid though.
Okay,
It's a
okay.
payment one, but Anchor is free.
I will start with anchors, but let's talk
I know
more
you
about
will.
that.
You're the
Let's
financial
talk more about that
coach.
afterwards. Okay. So all right. So let's see other good comment. Wait, where did I left?
I
Oh,
think
okay.
Nakita was asking about a higher purchase. I saw something.
Yeah, here. Okay, Nakita said, "What about hire purchase? How do you recommend we go about that?
That's you, Christine.
What do you mean hire purchase?
Okay, higher purchase is putting things on you have the whatever. Say for example, you bought a couch
Oh,
and you
oh,
do a
oh.
monthly installment until it's
Oh,
paid
got it,
for.
got it. Okay, okay. Sorry, I got confused. Okay, so yeah, yeah. If you hire a coach, I assume if you can afford it. So for me, like what I do with my clients, like so I prefer everyone to pay upfront. So but then like when I talk to them, if they can't afford it, and sometimes people who can't afford it are the one who needs my services. So I don't offer discount, but I do offer installment plans. So I work around with their budget. So I just want them to get started, so they can just do so whatever down payment they can afford. I just want them to get started so I can see their budget. Then we're gonna plan for that one. So I think yeah, Nakita, I will work around with with anyone if they need my help. I really want to help them, and then so there's a difference between someone who really wants my help, so I'm gonna dedicate myself to make it work, or someone who's just like not really truly committed. So then and then they can afford it, they're not truly committed. Then you can kind of sense that then they're not quite ready. So I need them to come back to me. If they come back to me again, they show that they really want to do it, then I will work around something with them. So hope I answered your question, Nakita.
I
Um,
think Christine, higher
yeah.
purchase, higher what I don't know what you guys call it in the States. Higher purchase is, for example, I think she meant, I hope I'm right. I think she meant you're buying something, you
Mm-hmm.
don't have the full money to buy whatever it is, a
Uh-huh.
bed, a refrigerator, whatever it is,
Oh,
but
oh,
you
oh.
have an installment that monthly you put towards that
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
She's
So
asking, what do you recommend about going like a layaway plan? Then I guess you guys call it layaway plan,
oh,
but
got it,
you
got
don't actually own it. You keep it in the
it. Okay.
store until you've paid for it.
Okay, so Nakita, hopefully, I think that's what you mean, right? So for me, my philosophy about like if you can, I mean, if you can afford it, I know I my philosophy is more about don't buy it yet. So for example, like I actually recently had a client who bought a couch. They made it a 1 year installment, but then couch isn't really that expensive. So it's like so I would much rather someone get into the habit of like passive cash flow saving for that and then before buying it. Except like for example, like maybe car you can't do it and you might need an installment, and that's fine. You just have to work out an installment plan. Or like a home you can afford that, right? So to pay cash, then you're gonna just do an installment plan. So hopefully I answered that question. I mean, Nakita, feel free to just clarify more if I didn't answer your question. Okay, because okay, so William said, I realized that I did not share my parents' religious belief when I was very young. So I told them, then refused to go to church. My parents were very angry with me, and they treated me badly for standing up for my beliefs. My six siblings decided not to come out as unbelievers to my parents. After seeing how I was treated by them over time, they also began to treat me poorly. Following the example of my parents, I wasted decades trying to prove to them that I'm a good person, just not a okay, that got cut off.
Cut off, yeah.
Yeah, thanks William for sharing. I've described and illustrated. Okay, so Cassandra said, "Oh, hi Carol."
Hey,
Okay. Yeah, hi Cassandra.
Cassandra!
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Rachel said two incredible people.
Hey,
Yeah. Okay.
Rachel!
William said, continuing my previous comment, now when people ask me about my family, I tell them that I have an amazing family consisting of sweetheart, super dog, and myself. If they pry, then I tell them that I used to have a family of over 30 people, but I lost them all to a terrible religious so I asked them, the sweetheart, super dog, are they your pets or like
I
or
guess sweetheart
nicknames?
is probably his spouse.
Okay, hey, you never know. That could be the case. Super dog, yes, okay. Just to trick you. I left some no kids. Oh, Nakita said you did. Okay, good. Thank you, Nakita. Okay, so hey Francis, what are you doing up? I already know supporting our girl. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Rocky said, are abusers very confused people? Okay, you
Confused.
answer.
Are they? I think they are. They are confused. I
Oh,
think half the time they are. They are trying to fulfill something that they're lacking, and
mm-hmm,
majority of abusers they tend to be controllers.
mm-hmm.
So
Yep,
they're
yep.
trying to control a situation, and they do that by undermining others.
Mm-hmm.
And undermining meaning it gets physical, verbal abuse. They do things that hurt because they're hurting. They always have this saying that hurting people hurt people.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to tell you that. Like,
Yeah.
I just saw that in the movie Hustler. You know, Hustler with Jennifer Lopez and
Oh, I know that movie. I know
yeah,
that
yeah. Okay.
movie.
So yeah, what that lady was saying, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you're not if you're a happy person, I mean, like you won't hurt people. You know, it's like when you hurt, it's like it makes you feel better, right? So I love that. It was like it just clicked. I was like, oh, I need to create a post around that. That's like so cool, such a post. Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
confused people, they're hurt, so
Yeah.
abusers, they're just all that, they're just not happy. And I think like as much as hard as it is, like don't take it personally because it's not personal against you because then they have something to work on. It has nothing
Hmm.
to do with you. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're worthy to be abused. Whatever, it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with you. It has all to do with them. They have a lot of crap they have to work on.
Hmm.
I think that's the
Yeah.
hard part about that. Okay, William said, "Sweetheart's my adorable partner. Super dog is
Figured.
my Belgian Shepherd bodyguard child." Anyway, I don't know. It could be. I could call my dog sweetheart too. So anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to say your partner is a dog. Okay. So Francis said, "I know I'm enjoying this conversation. I also meet some of these issues among clients I work with, so I'm finding this informative, Cassandra." Okay.
Oh, he's telling Cassandra why he's up at this time.
William, by the way, thanks for talking about this topic. Gaslighting is so common now. It's very dangerous. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
why I have interesting guests like Carol. So
Yeah.
yeah. Like Kira said, I hope one day the family will grow past this and rekindle. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I said wife and dog. Yeah. Hey, I also have a partner and two dogs, and that's good enough for me. That's my family. So okay. So Carol, we're already at the hour. And I know Instagram. Oh my God, Instagram is gonna cut us off at the hour
Yeah.
because that's their whatever limit. Okay. So now, why don't you tell people how to find you? I know you're on Instagram, LinkedIn. So just tell them, how can people
Okay,
find? Mm-hmm.
so you can find me on Instagram at
Mm-hmm.
transform with coach C underscore.
Mm-hmm.
There's an underscore at the end. You can also find my Facebook page, Transformed to Transform Speaking and Coaching. And of course, I'm on LinkedIn, Carol Edwards, Life Purpose
Mm-hmm.
Coach. And also,
And
you can visit my website that's currently under construction, but I think it's still up, www.transformedtotransform.com.
Yep. So yeah, and I will tag Carol after this. So I couldn't tag you beforehand for some reason, but after I'll tag her, and then there, feel free to send her connection, say hi,
Yes,
follow
connect,
her. And yep, yep. And
connect.
she has a really good posts. Like she posts daily, right? You do you still post twice a day or once a day now?
No, once a day and every other day. Trying to
Oh
keep up.
really? Oh, what do you
Yeah.
do that?
Because I started getting like it was too much. Too much. You know the comments. I cannot keep up. So
Okay, so when do you start feeling like it's a lot of comment, like about how many, then you start feeling like okay, maybe this is like too
I
much.
feel like because based on I tend to I
Yeah,
want to engage with my
yeah, yep.
commenters,
Me
right?
too, me
So
too.
sometimes I'll miss persons. So what I do from a day to day basis, like okay, I posted today.
Oh,
Probably, highly likely, I won't post tomorrow because I'll be going through those comments and just reaching out to those persons who took the time to
oh, you
comment on my
actually
post.
DM people who
Yes,
comment?
yes,
Oh,
especially if
really?
they're frequent, especially if they're frequent supporters.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, because like I do post daily, and then I think it's like for me it's like a habit, but I don't post twice a day because like
No, no, no,
I
I
know
don't post twice a day.
when you did, I know at that one point you're doing twice a day. I'm like, how
No,
do you
that was
keep
just
up
an
twice a
inspiration. That
day?
was just an inspiration. You just have something
Yeah,
to say, you want to share it. Okay, let's
yeah,
just post.
yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because you need a one day off to like do back end stuff, then post, then
Yeah.
back end. You just focus on like making sure your post is really engaged. You know, people it will reach a
Yes,
lot of people.
yes,
So
yes.
that's and then
Quality, quality, not
yeah,
quantity. Quality.
LinkedIn is a full time job. Like I think
No, trust me, trust me. My my friends always say, like, like seriously, like, are you getting paid to be on LinkedIn that much? Like,
yeah, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. So anyway, I don't know how you keep up. You're all over the place, but I think like for me, LinkedIn and Instagram is enough. So anyway, so anyway, thank you so much, Carol, for
thank you for
joining me.
having me.
Yes, I really appreciate it. And everyone who joined, thank you so much. And then connect with Carol afterwards. And then I'll see you guys soon. And then my next live will be on Saturday at 10 a.m. PST. And then I have a tax expert coming on board. So if you guys have any tax questions, so feel free to come. And then it's US taxes only, unfortunately, but please feel free to come and ask questions if you want to learn about more about US taxes. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. And thank
Bye.
you, Carol. Bye.